Hey, what's up YouTube? Hope you all had a good Wednesday, and I hope you guys have liked the last two videos I'm putting out. You know, these general discussion type videos is not something I've done a lot of in the past. Actually, it's been non-existent on the channel up until this week, and the reason I'm doing it is because my boat is in the shop. I don't think I'm going to even have it back until next Friday. So you're going to see a lot of these types of videos till the next 2 weeks. Hope you all like them. Feel free to join with this discussion down in the comments below. Let me know what you guys think about the topics we're discussing. So far this week, we've talked about my 5 favorite fishing lures for soft plastics, and we've talked about my favorite jigs and my jig rod setup. Today we're going to be talking about flippin' hooks. Now, there's quite a few brands of flippin' hooks. I'm going to talk about the flippin' hooks that I'm most confident with and the ones that I like the most. So let's get to it. Alright guys, so when I'm looking for flippin' hooks, I'm looking for a couple of things. One, I want a sharp hook, but not overly sharp. And what I mean by that, guys, is you want a hook that's going to be sharp enough to where you can easily get it buried deep into a fish's mouth, but you don't want it so sharp to where it's always cutting up your soft plastics and trashing your soft plastics. An example would be Trocar flippin' hooks. In my opinion, yes, they make the sharpest flippin' hook you could buy, but they're so sharp that they make you have to go through a ton of soft plastic during the day because they just rip it up. They're so sharp. So I want a flippin' hook that's sharp, but not too sharp. So another thing I look for is the bait keeper. You want a good bait keeper on a flippin' hook to where it's not always breaking off. Another thing is they'll twist a little bit. Once they've twisted, you might as well cut the line and put a new flippin' hook on there because you're going to constantly be fooling with your bait trying to keep it up on the hook. So you want a sharp hook, you want a good bait keeper, and you want a stout hook that's not going to flex. You want to be able to get those giant fish out of cover and not have to worry about the hook flexing, because once the hook flexes, it's just one hook set away from snapping. You know, I used to use Gambler KO flippin' hooks when I first started out, and those things were notorious for flexing a little bit. As soon as they would flex, the next pitch you would catch a good one and they would just snap, and you'd wind up with just your sinker and a little piece of the hook, and that was it. So I finally have whittled it down to 2 companies that I like most for flippin' hooks. Now, I went through a phase with the first one. The first one was Gamakatsu super heavy cover flippin' hooks. The reason I went through a phase with them is because they make a great hook. It's not overly sharp, but it's super sharp to where it'll get buried up in the fish's mouth. It has good, I want to say it's, I guess you could say that it's just a stout hook. It's not going to flex on you, and the only problem is when they originally came out is the bait keeper. The bait keeper would always twist, and then it was trash. So you have to cut the line and get a new hook. Guys were taking JB weld and they were JB welding the bait keeper. So that tells you something. The hook was perfect. The only thing was wrong with it was the bait keeper. So guys were going that much out of the way where they would just weld the bait keeper and then they would have a perfect hook. So rewind the tape. I was using Gamakatsu flippin' hooks at first, and then I was having this bait keeper issue. So I decided, hey, I'm going to try a different company, a different flippin' hook, and see how I feel about them. Which brings me to my next flippin' hook. So the next flippin' hook I was using is this Strike King Hack Attack flippin' hook. And the reason I switched over to them is strictly to fix the bait keeper issue. The bait keeper on the Hack Attacks is going nowhere. I promise you, you're not going to have an issue with the bait keeper. The hook is super stout. It has that perfect sharpness, but it just seems like I don't know how to explain this, guys. It's like, it might just be me. I don't know if some of you guys have used these hooks, but I seem to lose so many fish using this hook, and I'm looking at it and it's like, how? I mean, I don't see anything that could possibly be wrong with it, other than I think maybe the diameter of the hook is just a little bit too big to where when you're getting the hook in their mouth, they're able to shake it loose, or it's just so big that it's just not burying deep up in their mouth. Honestly, you guys may know better than me. I don't know how to explain it. I thought I had the perfect flippin' hook, and then I'm gonna have to switch out because I'm just not getting as many fish in the boat with a Hack Attack hook as I was with the Gamakatsu. Which brings me to the next thing, and that's going back to Gamakatsu. So like I said earlier, people were JB welding their Gamakatsu super heavy cover flippin' hooks. This year, I guess finally Gamakatsu listened to the fans and said, why don't we start welding our own bait keepers on these hooks? And that's exactly what they've done. So now I think we've finally got a perfect flipping hook. And the Gamakatsu super heavy cover flipping hook. Can't say enough good things. Finally, this little keeper is welded on there. It's stout, seems to have the perfect diameter to where you always get the hook buried deep in the fish's mouth. Has the perfect sharpness, and it's my only flipping hook that I'm gonna use. Alright guys, hey, I hope you guys enjoyed tonight's short discussion. I know it's short and sweet. Tomorrow night we'll be discussing swim jigs and my swim jig rod set up on the wall behind me. I hope to get my boat back by next Friday, so I'll be fishing again all the time then. In the meantime, do me a favor, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment down below. Let me know who makes your favorite gear, who makes your favorite flippin' jigs. And until then, we'll see you tomorrow night, guys. Thanks for watching.